Hey everyone, Indoor Bush from Bush League Games, and today I'm going to be doing episode 3 of the gameplay tutorial for my homemade TCG, The Flip Side. Today I'm going to be going over battle tokens, playing cards to the field, and then the very important overweight rule, which I'll get into later. One thing I wanted to update on the first episode is that I didn't really mention is that if you look at the game board here, this is just one half of it. You don't really see like a typical like graveyard or trash pile for the cards. So the question could arise, whenever my card is in the battle zone and gets defeated, where does it go? And the answer is it goes to the bottom of your main deck. And in this game, it's called discarding. So anytime a card is defeated in battle or due to a card effect it's discarded, it basically just means return it to the bottom of your main deck. So now that's cleared up, I'm going to move on to battle tokens. So each player is going to receive a bank of 10 battle tokens. In this case I'm using pennies. And battle tokens are used to play cards to the field. You can spend one to draw an additional card to your hand. You can spend one to add an additional counter to the ancient slab to get that to flip sooner. And you can also spend one token to attach a material card to a leader card as well. And let me grab a leader card quick so I have one. I realize I don't have one right now. There we go. Okay, so a little more about the battle tokens. You're always going to have exactly 10 on your side of the field. The battle tokens never switch sides. They're a limited resource. Anytime a battle token, is spent to attach to a card that's in the battle zone. So let's say I have a token attached to this card in the battle zone. Whenever this card leaves the field, whether it goes to the excess area or back to the main deck, the battle token returns to the bank pile. So if you're low on tokens, one way to replenish your bank is to get cards out of your battle zone. If battle tokens are spent on anything else, like drawing additional cards, adding counters to the ancient slab, or attaching material, they go to the spent pile. There's a rule where you have to have at least one battle token in your bank pile at the start of your action phase, which is equivalent to like your main phase 1 in Yu-Gi-Oh, or you lose. So that's a very important rule, and there can be decks built to specifically exploit that rule as well. I might do a deck profile in the future of one specifically. So that's about it on the battle tokens. You'll see them on some of the card effects, like this one right here. It says it's a rapid effect. It says add one token to any card on the field. Token meaning battle token. So they have many uses, but they are a limited resource. Moving on to how to play cards on the field. There's 3 different ways: normal playing, sacrifice playing, and then free playing / special playing. The terms have the same meaning. So very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! You got your normal summon, your tribute summon, and then your special summon. And so for the normal playing, it's indicated, the cost of that is indicated on the left side here. So for Space Snake, actually, you can just play this normal play this card in the field for free, basically. But each card's cost is going to be on the left side here for normal playing, and it's pretty easy to keep track of. So if the card is under 100 and no effect, it has no cost. And then if it has under 100 and an effect, it has 1 cost. If it has over 100 but under 200 and no effect, it's 1. And then over 100 or under 200 with an effect is 2. And then you can see where this is going here. Over 200, no effect is 2. and then over 200 with an effect is 3 as well. So that's kind of the progression of how, cards that are deemed more powerful, that either have more power or a useful effect, cost more to play. And it goes up on a scale based on the amount of power they have, as well as if they have an effect or not. So in some cases, it is viable to have a deck with a lot of non-effect cards because they're cheaper to play. And you can kind of control the board a little easier. So for sacrifice playing, let's say I want to play, what's a good card to sacrifice here? So let's say I want to play this card right here, the Solar Flare Specimen. The rule is, so if I have the Solar Flare Specimen card in my hand, and let's say I want to special play it. So you have to have the cards on the field that you want to tribute or, sacrifice. And basically the combined power of the cards on the field that you want to use to sacrifice play have to equal or exceed the power of this card that you want to play minus 100. So basically you take the combined powers of these two cards, add 100, and it has to be higher or equal to this card. So in this case, 60 plus 50 is 110, plus another 100 is 210. So I can sacrifice play both these cards and discard them, return them to the bottom of my main deck to sacrifice play this card. Sacrifice plays cost 1 token from your bank pile, and then the card that you sacrifice played inherits any tokens that were on the cards that you used as sacrifices. So if these cards each had 1 token on them, if I sacrifice these 2 for this one would now have 3 tokens on it. So obviously you can't have more tokens than are pictured on the card, so limits do apply, but this card in this situation would start on the battle zone with 3 tokens attached to it from the bank pile. And I think, I think that's it. Sacrifice cards are discarded, obviously. And that just leaves the third type, which is special or free playing. And I actually found cards that are examples of each. So I got Albot here. And his effect is if this card is added to your hand by card effect, free play it onto the field. So it usually would cost 1 token to play. But it has the effect that if it's added to your hand, then you can just special play it onto the field. Now this is a trigger effect, so you don't have a choice. If it was a voluntary effect, you could say, actually I don't want to play it on the field, but since it is a trigger, it has to occur. And then there's also another card here that I found. Planetary Estate Agent, who's got a rapid effect, so you can play this during your turn or during your opponent's turn from your hand. You can special play this card on your opponent's side. So you can special play it onto your opponent's side of the field, basically. So special play and free play basically mean the same thing, and it's equivalent to a special summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to make it simple. Okay, after that, we're going to go over the overweight rule, which is probably the most important rule in the game and kind of what makes the game a little more unique. So on all the cards, let me pick one I haven't used yet. On all the cards, you're going to see the token cost on the left side, as well as the number of tokens that they need to acquire to gain access to the excess area while they're in the battle zone. So for this Megalodon, it is 3 tokens total. So if I play this on the field, attach 1 token to it initially, and then let's say it defeats a few cards in battle, maybe a card effect adds a token to it, and it has 3 now. This card is now considered overweight because it's carrying the max amount of tokens that it can carry. It cannot carry 4 tokens, even if something would apply where it would normally gain a token from that action. Overweight cards are not able to do any of the following. They can't attack any other cards. They can't directly attack your opponent. They can't activate any effect they have, but they are still affected by other card effects on the field. They're not just immune. And then they also gain access to the excess launch area. And that's basically it, you know. But it's, you know, you gotta be aware of this whenever you're playing. Like, hey, if this card goes overweight, if it has like a continuous effect or something, that's gonna end. You know, if my opponent has a card I want to, defeat in battle, I can't if it gets this last token added to it. So there is a little bit of gameplay that goes on with the overweight rule, and so that's something to keep in mind, because basically the card's dead on the field until it either gets, you know, sent to the excess area or defeated in a battle. But there might be certain scenarios where it's the only card you have on the field, so you don't want to, you know, just leave yourself exposed for your opponent to directly attack you next turn. So yeah, I think that concludes episode 3 of my gameplay tutorial series. Today we went over playing cards on the field, battle tokens and how to use them, as well as the overweight rule. And I think next episode I'm probably going to go more in depth on the ancient slab mechanic that causes all the cards to flip, and then also launchpad access and win conditions. I think that'll be the next video. But if you stayed this long, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.